Hey guys, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Look, I'm not gonna do a whole traditional style of match review because I just want to get straight into some of the talking points here because I'm pretty sure you guys would have seen the lineup, you know what sort of transpired. So I want to talk about some specific things about the match and really try and hopefully ignite a discussion here. So first of all, guys, let's talk about the first half. I think overall, for me, the first half was really good. You know, Mendy was really strong. So happy to see him start, and yeah, it was great to see a keeper that is commanding, comes out and collects crosses, and I felt so safe during set pieces. And he made some really good saves as well. So overall, like I was very happy with him. Can't really do anything about in the second half the way we conceded. That's not his fault. It was really Emerson. We've seen Emerson do that far too often. And overall, in the first half, I think we had really good control. Kovacic, Jorginho pressed well. Whenever we lost the ball, we quickly went and won the ball back. And Chua played really well on the left side. I think he gave us an impression as to what can be expected down the track from our left back. His attacking abilities going forward was strong. His ball control, his ability to put in that cross from deep and finding the striker and putting the ball in between the defenders was really good. And I feel up until he was substituted, I thought it was really good. And Timo Werner obviously gets his first goal for Chelsea. Fantastic finish, just outside the box, clinical finish. Nice ball from Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta very underrated, honestly. I know it's Reece James' season, but Azpilicueta, I'm so thankful that we've got a captain like that who can still be a backup. And Callum Hudson-Odoi had a really good work rate in the first half. But one thing that was really evident in the first half was Mason Mount. You could see he was fatiguing. That number 10 position, I had Mason Mount selected for this particular match in my pre-match preview. That I would select Mason Mount because of his work ethic and whatnot, but I would play him as a number 8. I don't think he's a number 10. He's not creative enough to be a number 10. And being in that position, he wasn't linking up enough with the midfielders to provide something for the forwards out there and have that channel through the middle. Everything was going through the sides. So, that's something that was evident. Then in the second half, Frank doesn't change anything around. One of the distinct changes I feel he should have done, and I called it out in social media and Twitter, that I think Mount needs to be subbed off because he looks tired, he looks fatigued. Let's get players like Kai Havertz or Barkley in because they could do a job. I mean, is Mason Mount that much better, a fatigued Mason Mount that much better than Kai Havertz and Barkley? I mean, come on. So, the second half, you can see Jose's plan. You know what he was up to. He just wanted to hold on and try and sneak an equalizer as we saw right at the end, and take the game as deep as possible and went to the penalties, and they won. My issue with the whole second half was that, we can see what was transpiring. And here's one of my first talking points is that Frank Lampard, I know he's not always a proactive manager, but even if you're reactive, you've got to be precise on how you react. You can't just, flow, just go along with the flow. Like, you've got to be decisive about what you do. You can see what Jose was trying to do all along, and you had to basically kill off that match. So, how do you kill off that match? You've got players like Kai Havertz, you've got players like Barkley in the bench. Bring them on. Be proactive. Why wait until something changes to make this happen? And if you want to sort of, secure that lead, then be defensive. You were neither, attacking nor defending. You was just moving with the flow. So then we started seeing Jose's substitution. Højbjerg came in, Lucas Moura came in, Kane came in, and here's my second talking point. If you're going to be reactive, so let's look at some of the subs that Frank Lampard did. He took off Chilwell for Emerson. Okay, for me, understandable, probably trying to protect Chilwell, but for a lot of fans, it didn't make sense because Chilwell didn't look like he was unfit. He was playing a match that looked like he was quite fit. He was bombing up and down. He was defending well. He was attacking very well as well. So is it just being, sort of cautious with him, which is fine. For me, it made sense. Kante came on instead of Kovacic. Once again, Kante's inclusion made sense to me in regards to that it gave us a little bit more reassurance in midfield. And he was fantastic off the bench. Like, he was winning balls. You know, he was aggressive in pressing up front. And that energy in midfield was fantastic. Whether I would have taken Kovacic off, that's a different story. But then again, what I'm trying to say is that Kante's inclusion made sense. Olivier Giroud, instead of Olivier Giroud, you brought in... So you took off Olivier Giroud and brought in Tammy. This did not make sense to me because we already have Timo Werner. So why the necessity to bring on Tammy and take off Giroud when perhaps let's take off Mount and bring on Kai Havertz and really play with Giroud, you know? Giroud didn't have the greatest match, but perhaps if you include someone like Kai Havertz, we could have got something better out of Giroud. Someone like Timo Werner could have got in more into the game with the whole link up with Giroud and Kai Havertz. And we really could have killed off that game. We honestly could have killed off that game, but we didn't do that. And then players like Kai Havertz and Barkley are just kept in the bench rotting. And as the match went on, and here's the third most important talking point is the whole Mason Mount situation. He had that opportunity to square that ball, pass that ball to Timo Werner, and he completely fluffed it. But honestly, I know there's a lot of people out there that are bashing him about it. I'm not going to bash him about the penalty miss that we all saw that he did. It's a lottery at the end of the day. Penalties, as soon as the match goes to penalties, shouldn't have even got to that level, to be honest. We should have been able to kill off that match, but we fell into the Jose's trap. This is exactly what Jose Mourinho wanted. And I'm not going to blame Mason Mount for missing that penalty because that can happen. But what I will probably blame here is Frank Lampard for keeping Mason Mount on for that long and then playing him in that 10th position when you've got Kai Havertz or even Barkley. And we can also say, Mason, he should have been able to make that pass, but I've not seen Mason make clinical passes like that. It was an easy pass to make, but I think tiredness had a lot to do with this. And then you had Callum Hudson-Odoi as well, who had an open opportunity. He could have even passed to Tammy Abraham and allowed Tammy Abraham to have a clear chance at shot. But even when he took the shot, I thought he had enough chances there to score a goal, which he didn't. He wasn't clinical enough. He smashed the ball right above the bar. But I'm not going to fault him too much with it because overall I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi actually had a pretty good game. I think I loved his work rate a lot. And the last talking point that I want to say here is that we seem to keep missing out on these opportunities in big games, and it's becoming a thing. I've talked about Frank's in-game management. I've talked about how his overusage of Mason Mount when we've got players that we should have been introduced in this match. And this last part that I want to talk about is that we are not being decisive, either attack or defense. So when we've got that 1-0 lead, Frank said after the match that he wanted to go out there and really hope for more goals in the second half, but you didn't show anything to make it a more attacking game for us. And at the same time, you didn't do enough to say that you defended well either. You didn't bring on any defenders so you were neither here or there in regards to where the match was going in. This is becoming a theme now. I feel like we missed out on Super Cup, we missed out on the FA Cup. Now again, we're out of this competition. This competition was very important. I feel like we don't have that many opportunities to win the silverware this season. This particular competition, along with the FA Cup, were two big opportunities to win, and we've fluffed this one against the Spurs team, which was a second-tier team, to be honest. When you look at their team, they had players like Kane, Son, Lucas Moura. Son was injured. Kane and Lucas Moura were in the bench, and they were introduced right at the end. And the team that they were led out with wasn't strong enough. We had far stronger team to combat that, and we completely fluffed it. And for me, this is where the issue is with Frank. I'm never a manager out, and I'm not going to be. But Frank needs to start putting his style together, because sometimes when he plays with Reece James, it's all crosses. sometimes when he plays with Kovacic and Jorginho, it's sideways passes, and I don't know what he's trying to do, and I want him to figure his style out ASAP, stick with it, and be aggressive. If you want to be aggressive, be aggressive. If you want to be defensive, then be defensive. Do something, but do it well. Don't try to sort of go with the flow. And this is the big issue that I'm having with the whole situation at the moment. And I know it's early in the season. People are going to say, oh, just calm down. We've got a few players. But no, this is how slowly by slowly all the matches keep going away. And before you know it, it's Christmas. And next thing you know, we're fighting for top four, which is not good enough. We should be looking to reduce the gap with Liverpool. We should be looking to win a silverware with the kind of players that we have. And it's all down to us not having a proper identity as yet. So guys, look, let me know what your thoughts were about all the talking points that I've said in this particular video. You know, Mason Mount situation, Frank's in-game management, you know, this particular competition being a competition that we should have gone for. FA Cup's the other one. I don't think we're going to win. Definitely not going to win the Premier League and Champions League. So yeah, guys. Overall, let me know what your thoughts were of this match, and let's have a good discussion. If you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm so close to it. And hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see you.